All right. Welcome back to another edition of Anxiety versus Addiction. Today, I wanted to do a part two of the whole suicide awareness thing because I don't know. Today, I was house cleaning and I had it on the Alice in Chains station, and it just all these artists that have passed on due to addiction and or suicide, which was probably led from anxiety to addiction to suicide. Um, I have to say that if you don't believe that it's going to hurt somebody else, you just sit down and think of like think of one of your favorite artists from maybe like the 90s or something, um, early 2000s. Anybody. I mean, it could be anybody from Alice in Chains or to Amy Winehouse to, Soundgarden, Chris Cornell. Look at, I mean, too many to name, and I mean, you got to think about Nirvana. Look at him, Kurt Cobain. He was suffering, is so they say, from pain. Um, but the true pain was in his head, and not a lot of people understood that. They they just make assumptions, and assumptions aren't the greatest things to make in the world. So, yeah, next time, if you ever feel like you're going to go down that path, suicidal path, and you don't think it's going to hurt anybody and it's just going to relieve you, you need to stop and think about one of your favorite artists. And hey, listen, let's say if you don't have a favorite artist that's committed suicide, but sit there and think about how it's affected your life that they're not in this world anymore. Or how your favorite artist, if they off themselves, what it would do to you, like emotionally, that they off themselves. I mean, I can say for me that personally, I think the music industry, we lost so much great music from when Kurt Cobain offed himself. We lost so much great music from when Chris Cornell killed himself. You know, um, we lost so much great music from a lot of people who just they lost it, man. They just lost it, and I didn't know them personally, but you know what? Their music touched me in a way that I felt connected, and obviously, apparently, there was some sort of, I don't know, interweaving of feelings, same feelings they had, I guess, and but they were lucky enough to make a bunch of money to express it. That being said, don't ever think that money and power and success will bring you happiness, because apparently it doesn't. Um, yes, so just think about how different our lives have become without great artists because of suicide. Um, if you're addicted to something and you know you need help, get the help, because you can overdose and die. And we've lost a lot of great artists from that. Jim Morrison from The Doors, Scott Weiland, which is what I opened the this segment off with. Man, there's just so too many to explain. Amy Winehouse, just so many great artists that personally for me have really affected my life. And I think my life, at least musically, could have gone down like, it would have been a lot better if these people were still around. If I know God has this great, glorious plan for us, if that's what you believe, but I mean, I definitely didn't plan for these guys to die. These were artists that I really looked up to and grew up listening to, and just I absolutely could relate to their pain and suffering. And while I really wish we could have them back just to have better music than what's out there today. Because now all we got out there is this this pop crap that's just not. No offense to the new artists out there. Have your heyday, make your money, but music has just never been the same since I'm going to say the early 90s. But this is not really about music. This is about suicide or addiction. If you need the help, get the help. Like I said before in my last segment, there are plenty of numbers that you can call, plenty of crisis hotlines. Don't make excuses. Don't attempt it, because if you attempt it, I'm talking about suicide here, then like I said, you're hurting more than just yourself. You are hurting your loved ones, and I mean, you hurt a lot of people that you could have made a difference for. I know it's the pot calling the kettle black when I say I tried to do it, but here I am now, because luckily I survived from it, and so here I am now, being able to reach out and tell people how I feel, and how hopefully something I say can trigger somebody's head into a different direction. Hopefully I can be the mentor for a lot of you guys out there that are suffering. Like I said, and I know it sounds like a broken record, there are numbers out there. If you need to, leave me a comment with you needing help or whatever. And if you're not comfortable with giving out your email or anything like that, that's cool. I'm setting up email and everything that's going to be going strictly for this particular podcast, and I will get back to you if you need to leave any kind of comment, or basically saying that you need help or whatever. Okay. I'm there for you. There's a lot more people out there for you. But yeah, think again. think again. Think twice before you roll the dice. When in doubt, pull out is one of the sayings I've always said. um, Anyways, guys, I really hope the second segment has done something for you. Because I know that I was cleaning today and listening to the station, and it was artist after artist. And some people used to say that, oh, yeah, it's just because of all their heroin addictions back then. No, well, even so, you know what? They had a problem. And you don't know what was going in their heads, what was in their minds. Don't judge, you know? You got to think about back in the hippie era with the, Jim Morrison and the Doors and Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, everybody dying from drug overdose and shit like that. You know what? Don't judge. They were coping. As a matter of fact, them being in the limelight probably added to anxieties and stresses that led to where they are today, which unfortunately is 6 feet under. So, my name is Todd. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and please leave your comments and start following, because there's a lot more coming up in the future. This was part 2 of suicide awareness, and you guys have a great day.